Six-string guitar scales. The first scale you're going to use and play is called the minor pentatonic, and it is called pent because it has 5 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 separate named notes. For example, A, C, D, E, G, and it finishes on A. A starts and finishes on the same name note. In other words, A there, A there. It's the same at every scale. It starts and finishes on the same named note. So pentatonic minor, you're going to, in this case, play what's known as an A minor pentatonic scale. And it starts behind the 5th fret. You're going to use your first finger. You play 2 notes on the 6th string, then 2 notes on the 5th string, but this now has a gap of just 2 frets. Then on the 4th D string, gap of 2 frets, and you finish on the root note there. That's a root note, that's a root note. In other words, you'd finish and start the solo on either of the root notes. The next octave, in other words, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, that's going into the next octave. Starts here, that's an A note on the D string behind the 7th fret, then behind the 5th fret with the first finger, gap of 2 frets behind the 7th fret with the 3rd finger, then you go to the 2nd string behind the 5th fret, then you use your little finger to play behind the 8th fret, then you play the root note. That's another A. So there's a root note there, root note there, root note there, and you're playing basically all notes available to you in a 4 fret space. So you can go into a higher octave with the little finger by playing that note. So overall it sounds like this: root note, root note, root note, and then you can add that note to go into a 3rd octave. That's the sound of that. Second scale you're going to learn is what's known as a natural minor scale. You add certain notes to that scale that you just played. What you just played is the minor pentatonic, which is a 5-note scale, but the minor scale, what's known as the natural minor scale, has 8 notes: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and it's fret 5, fret 7 with the 3rd finger, fret 8 with the little finger, fret 5 with the first finger on the 5th string, fret 7 with the 3rd finger on the 7th string, fret 8 with the little finger behind the 8th fret, fret 5 first finger on D string behind 5th fret, fret 7 3rd string on 4th string behind 7th fret, and that is the root. So starting off with that note, root, root. Going into a higher octave, string 3 behind 5th fret, string 3 behind 7th fret with the 3rd finger. Now we go straight to, I missed the note there, we'll go the octave here again. We start here. Now we play this 3rd string behind 4th fret, 3rd string behind 5th fret, 3rd string behind 7th fret, 2nd string behind 5th fret, 2nd string behind 6th fret, 2nd string behind 8th fret, and we finish on 1st string behind 5th fret. Now we can extend that octave into a 3rd octave by 3rd finger behind 7th fret, little finger behind 8th fret. Overall, the scale sounds like this. Then we extend like that, playing it very slowly. You finish there, but you can extend it by going. It allows you to do that kind of thing. The next scale you're going to play is a major scale. It sounds like this. And that's the major scale played through 2 octaves. Again, this is an A major scale. We're just focusing on the root note being behind this 5th fret. We'll start with the 2nd finger, little finger behind 7th fret, 6th string, 1st finger, 5th string, 4th fret, 2nd finger, 5th string, 5th fret, little finger, 5th string, 7th fret, 1st finger, 3rd string, 4th fret, 3rd finger, 4th string, 6th fret, little finger, 4th string, 7th fret. Then and finish behind the 5th fret. So you have an A there, an A there, and an A there. Allows you to do stuff like that. The next scale you're going to learn is called a minor blues scale. A minor blues scale sounds like this. You play bluesy things. I could string bend there, but I'm not going to because I'd accidentally knock the guitar out of tune. So this is an A minor blues scale. 1st finger, 5th fret, little finger, 8th fret onto the 5th string. This is the important part here. 1st finger, 5th fret, 2nd finger, 6th fret, 3rd finger, 7th fret. So that passage is what gives it the blues sound. So now 4th string, 5th fret, and finish on 4th string, 7th fret. Now we're going to go into a higher octave. 3rd string, 5th fret, 3rd string, 7th fret, 3rd string, 8th fret. You hear that bluesy sound. 2nd finger, 5th fret, little finger, 8th fret, 1st finger, 5th fret. So it's I'm going to show you one more. It's a very exotic sounding scale. It's called a harmonic minor scale, and it sounds like this. Sorry. Now, here's where it makes a big difference. 2nd finger, 4th string behind 6th fret. That's that exotic note. And finish on that A. Then you go